We're listening to employees more. And together we're making lasting improvements at VA so that in the future, veterans will say with pride, "That's my VA." But we need the continued support of Congress, of veteran service organizations, of the American people to make the necessary changes to keep moving forward.
Secretary of Veterans Affairs Bob McDonald last week praising the VA and the improvements being made within the agency. But according to an Inspector General's report, over 307,000 veterans across the country died while waiting on pending benefits applications, meaning many of those veterans died just waiting for some sort of answer from the VA. For more, let's welcome in from the Hart Senate Office Building in Washington, D.C. via Skype, Senator Steve Daines of Montana, a Republican serving on the Senate Committee on Appropriations. Senator Daines, thanks so much for your time here on Newsmax Prime. And Steve, I just got to start with this. A year and a half after all the public scrutiny, after new legislation, and it seems as if the VA just cannot change. Why is that?
Well, JD, thank you. Thanks for having me on today. JD, I spent 28 years in business before I got involved in politics. I worked for Procter & Gamble. I worked for a cloud computing company. In business, you're held accountable for results. In business, you have the forces of free markets that drive competition, that drive accountability, and delivers improvement. The problem we've got in the VA is you've got this great, big, incompetent bureaucracy without leaders being held accountable for results. That's the bottom line. The troubling pattern here is this pattern of incompetence, of covering up the numbers. This report was generated because a whistleblower blew the whistle. The IG steps in and has issued this very damning report that shows the numbers, JD, that you were talking about. Veterans are dying because they can't get care. There are not processes and systems and so forth to hold people accountable. And the problem we've got is that if you're a veteran, is that you don't have as much choice as you should have. Now, we've passed legislation, and I supported these Veterans Choice Act. One of the problems we have is our veterans aren't always aware of the choices they do have. They can go to systems outside the VA if they're not getting the care they need within the VA.
So what has to happen, Steve? Do you as a senator or members of Congress have to utilize the frank and send mail to veterans in your state or in your district to let them know? Is it just simply a matter of getting the word out to them about the choice program? Or are there other things at work within the bureaucracy to try to inhibit, for lack of a better term, Steve, the choice of choice?
Right. We've seen this in my home state of Montana. JD, I'm the son of a U.S. Marine. In fact, in our state of Montana, we have some of the highest per capita vet populations in the country. And I'm proud of my 20 staff I have working back in Montana. 7 of my staff on my team are veterans. We are like pit bulls back home to make sure our veterans get the care they deserve. And we are finding out as we chat with our veterans, they're not always aware of the choices they have. I don't think the VA is being aggressive and being always upfront with our veterans, letting them know that they have a choice in many situations. And so we're taking this upon ourselves in Montana as an example. You mentioned the issue of maybe frank pieces, is making sure our veterans are getting the information they need. So ultimately, this is all a means to an end. The end is this, ensuring our veterans get quality care and timely care. And the VA is delivering neither, according to this IG report. This came out on September 2nd.
Steve, let me switch gears to another troubling topic with the minute and 20 seconds that remains. That is the agreement with Iran. You wrote last month that this proposed agreement sets the course to give Iran a nuclear weapon, and yet 41 of your colleagues, all Democrats, say they're going to support this agreement. Do you believe there is a way to block this still in the United States Senate?
Well, we're looking at the math right now on the votes. I'm very disappointed to see that we're not getting more Democrats joining us. But let me be clear, JD. Remember, this has become only partisan in the support for the agreement. There's no bipartisan support for this agreement. This is a little bit like Obamacare, where it became only the Democrats were on one side, but there were Democrats and Republicans opposed to Obamacare. On the Iran deal, we have at least 4 U.S. senators, Democrats, including Chuck Schumer, who are opposed to the Iran deal. We're going to meet tomorrow for lunch as a Republican team here to look at what options we have to stop this deal.
We'll have to leave it there. Senator Steve Daines, we thank you for your time.
Thanks a lot.
Now, we all know our current commander-in-chief is strong on this Iran nuclear agreement, but Newsmax wants to know who your choice is for the next president, specifically to become the next Republican nominee. Go to newsmaxpolls.com and let us know. That's newsmaxpolls.com. We're coming right back.